What I'm doing these ads, I'll talk about fat percentage, a little bit on losing weight, getting shredded, gaining weight, and what's associated with that. And I'm just gonna go off the dome, nothing just put together or anything like that. First of all, fat, excessive weight. Excessive weight comes from overeating. The majority of the time, we're talking about being obese, being outside of your BMI, like by over 30 pounds, 40 pounds. We're talking about bellies that protrude out here, overweight. That comes from overeating. That doesn't just come from inactivity. You can be inactive and not be overweight. So the best way to combat that is dive into the information about just being healthy. As soon as you dive into the information about being healthy, you're going to run into different diets that you may potentially make a roadblock by saying, I can't do this or I can't do that, or by saying the Bible says I can eat this or this isn't bad. Those are mental roadblocks that you place in front of you because when you immediately do the research, you're going to come across paleo diet, vegetarian diet, vegan diet, keto diet, all different types of diets, and each and every diet. Some may be means and ways for the person that creates these diets to make money, but ultimately they're just there to help you lose weight. So it's easy to do. All right, and the next thing I want to talk about is what happens if you exercise. Well, if you exercise, you have cellular activity. And that means that you're moving, meaning that your blood is moving. And whenever we're moving, something happens. Energy is required to move, and whenever energy is required, that's fuel that's being used up or burned. And in the process of burning up fuel, the body gets rid of things that shouldn't be there, waste, because of the cellular activity, because of the circulation. You understand what I'm saying? Cellular activity doesn't allow the body to be stagnant. And when there's cellular activity, and if the body remains stagnant, that just means that there's a lot of calcification buildup and solid mass or mass of inactivity that takes a little bit longer for that to be broken up and removed out of the body. And obviously, that just comes from stepping back away from the foods and from all of the toxic waste that comes into the body. So whenever you begin to exercise, let's say if you exercise a lot and you eat a standard American diet, it's really not a healthy diet, you can still be ripped up. You just have to exercise excessively, and that's exercise is another form of healing. So, but again, if you're trying to achieve a particular result, just do the research. Dive into exercise. And when I say dive into, I'm talking about the knowledge, the information. Maybe read a book by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe follow someone like myself. That this is what I do. I've been doing this for over 20 years now, and I just decided to step in front of a camera and teach people how to eat right, teach people how to exercise, and teach people what to mentally feed themselves every morning, like what to say and what not to say, because thoughts become things. That we create our own reality through our semantics, through the words, through our spells that we create that construct our own reality, right? So let me get back to these ads. Set number 2. when I was doing sit-ups, I have a question that maybe someone may have like a question to, and other people may not even notice, pay attention to it. But a question may be like, well, if you're healthy, if you're in the health, why don't you have deep abdominal ab muscles? And I can tell you why. It's because of the grains and the amount of grains that I'm eating. And about 2014, I was pretty much in my peak, weighing in at anywhere from about 165 to 170. I was playing basketball. I was doing squats. I was exercising. I was working out. I was doing jumping. I was really active. And my diet was, I'm gonna say about 80% fruit, because we weren't buying much grains. And when we did buy the grains, they were light grains, like quinoa, spelt. And that's pretty much it. But at the time, there were no potatoes. There just weren't many white floury type grains. They were alkaline. They were considered Dr. Sadie's so-called alkaline grains, because that's who molded me, kind of gave me my wings, and then I went on my own separate way. But yeah, it comes from the grains. Just so those who don't know, I have been plant-based for 6+ years. And over the 6+ years, whatever you're doing kind of fluctuates, but I definitely maintain plant-based at least over a month or 2-month period throughout the whole entire time. At least 70 to 80% alkaline. Majority of the time, it's been about 80 to 90% alkaline. A lot of times, it's been 95% plus. Here recently, it's been about maybe 70% alkaline, because I'm mixing in fruits with grains, but the grains are not alkaline grains. They're like $1, the spaghetti pack costs $1. It's that type of situation going on right here, which is fine, because it's all up here. So definitely, once I cut out the grains, right, and just reduce overall the amount that I'm eating. Let's say if I go back to like a day fast, like a morning fast, and all that means is when I wake up, I'm not eating until around noon. You know what I mean? If I eat at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, I don't do no tripping or whatever. Like, oh my gosh, I broke my morning fast. No, it's not that type of a situation. It's more of a wake up, do your morning routine as far as taking in some type of learning for about 30 minutes to an hour. Whether it just be, nowadays, it's listening to some type of podcast or video, like maybe Alan Watts, or maybe Jim Rohn or Les Brown, or maybe watching something on photography, that type of learning. And then I'll get to my content creations, if that's what I'm doing that day, or if I'm working like a temp job, I'll get to my temp job, then around 10, 11 o'clock or whatever, and I'll eat something, which would be like a fruit. And I'll go with the fruit because I'm able to take in my water intake, my nutrient intake, but I'm not piling on the carbohydrates. So when doing that, my body is able to get in get in enough to where I'm satiated, but at the same time, reduce my my caloric load. In other words, I'm able to eliminate all the waste that's already developing in the gut. Like right now, if I lean back, you can, I'm not as defined as I could be, because right now I'm weighing at like 177. Let me get back to some more abs. I want to talk and I want to do these abs. All right. All right, guys. I think that was 4 sets. And I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm gonna be done. Um, I think I'm gonna go live on Instagram. Go live on Instagram and knock that out right there. I think I'm gonna go that route right there. Or Facebook. I'll figure it out.